Can slipping Jimmy. Just keep his head on straight and do the right thing and just work and don't try to do anything else. I don't know. What is going on, guys? We're talking Better Call Saul, and this is Rebecca. We're talking about the episode Rebecca, and I loved the opening of this episode. I loved how we got Chuck in his memory. I'm assuming maybe his wife, his girlfriend, pretty much his girlfriend, because Jimmy was saying, you got a real winner right here. And we see Chuck's jealousy. We see that Chuck is so much different than Saul. He loves his brother, but I think he envies a lot of what his brother, how charming his brother is, because we see in this in the very beginning how Chuck can't make even his own girlfriend laugh as good as Saul. And I think there's always going to be jealousy for Chuck and Saul, but that doesn't necessarily mean, Saul is the most wonderful, or Jimmy is the most wonderful guy in the world. I mean, Chuck's a good guy. He just doesn't have the pizzazz, charisma as Jimmy does. And what I really liked about this episode was that was the battle. That was the battle of the whole episode, was the fact that Chuck telling that story about his dad and how Jimmy really kind of was getting away with doing some schemes even when he was a little kid, yet bawling his eyes out when his dad died 6 months later after, taking money from his dad's register. It really kind of just showcases that, Jimmy just cannot help himself. He can't help himself, but that doesn't necessarily mean he has no feelings. He does have feelings for some of the stuff he does and some of the bad stuff he does. Example is Kim. I really liked Kim in this episode. Jimmy tried to get Kim out of it, get out where she was, doing, Xerox and all that, or whatever they were making her do underneath. And he said, sue them. They can't let you do this. They're only doing this to you, Kim, because they want to get to me. Chuck wants me out of here. And Kim's like, I'm tired of your shit. Just leave me alone. I saved myself. And that's what this episode really showcases Kim and her dedication, her hard work. She's a hard worker. She's a very hard worker because she's trying to get big clients, right? She's trying to get some big clients to basically to win the winning graces of Howard and Chuck, to get back into where she needs to be instead of being down there doing a bunch of papers and all that stuff. So she's going after client after client after client, trying to get a client for the McGill company or overall the firm that she's at, and it just nothing's happening until she gets the client. And I thought that part where, it goes good, the firm gets a new client, this big case and stuff. But Howard's like, thank you. You can go back to what you were doing. Like, Howard was such a dick in this episode, but Chuck has a point. Chuck has a point where Howard was investing a lot on Jimmy, and Jimmy really just fucked him over. Do I agree that they had to be that harsh since it worked? Jimmy's plan worked, and sometimes you have to have the initiative to actually just go out and do something. But I don't agree with him doing it behind their backs and stuff. But it is a team effort. So I can understand why Howard's so pissed off, and I can understand Chuck's position too. Like, he likes Kim. He knows that Kim is wasting her time down there, but he knows that this is hurting Jimmy, and I think he is using Kim to hurt Jimmy. And I think overall, that's just how it is. That's just the situation they're in. Does that mean Kim is going to go and sue the firm? No, I think she's just a lot smarter than that. And that's why that couple works. That's why Kim and Jimmy works, because they're opposite. They're different. Yet they have they have a lot of great dedication, especially with Jimmy. And we saw in this episode where they have Howard has pretty much a watchdog on Jimmy, and Jimmy's ways and slipping Jimmy ways they just don't cut it anymore. He has to be the straight book, and that's what Kim wants. We also see Mike, of course, getting paid, and we see an awesome cameo at the end. Ding, 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 ding. Tuco's uncle, of course, who was in a wheelchair in Breaking Bad. So I don't know. So how far ahead are we from getting into Breaking Bad? Because Tuco's uncle was in the wheelchair, and that dude barely fucking talk and stuff. So what happened there? He must have had a stroke or whatever. I'm not sure. But that was a great conversation he had with Mike, telling him, that gun that Tuco had, that was yours. You get $5,000 if you say it was yours. So Mike, it was funny. My grandma was telling me like he was better off killing Tuco, and now he has this whole mess in his hands. And that's exactly right. He was better off killing Tuco, so he didn't have to deal with all the shit that's going to happen coming his way, especially with Nacho. Nacho's going to have word that his uncle met with Mike. And, his uncle is not stupid. And we all know that if you watch Breaking Bad. But, very good stuff. I really loved that cameo. I really loved this episode, honestly. I really, really liked it. For the fact that this showcases Kim a lot. I like a lot of the editing that was in here, especially the music. The editing was great. I thought it was superb. I thought it really kept me engaged. I thought some of the shots were very great as well. Some aerial shots, some just unique kind of shots to make the momentum keep going. The pacing was good overall. And then, of course, the character interactions. We don't see Chuck and Kim alone all the time. So that little discussion, that little interaction was great as well. Overall, Better Call Saul, Rebecca was a great episode. The interesting thing was we didn't really get to see Rebecca, Chuck's girlfriend, only in the very beginning. So what happened to her? I'm assuming she died. But great stuff. Really, Better Call Saul is really starting to get its momentum, get its two legs going, and I can't wait to see what this concludes to, especially with Mike. I love when they have Mike as a side character. He doesn't necessarily have to be with Jimmy all the time, but I did love the jabs that Jimmy was giving him, man. That made me laugh so hard when he's like, "Whoa, Mike, what happened to you?" When he pulled up, he started singing the Rocky song. Like, very funny stuff. So thank you guys for listening. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Would really appreciate it. And then you have a chance to win a lot of my giveaways that I'm going to be doing upcoming. Like the video if you like it. And comment below. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on this episode. Very solid episode. If you haven't seen Better Call Saul and you like Breaking Bad, it's a different kind of show, but it's a great show. Because Jimmy's a great character, even with all the flaws he has. And he has a great supporting cast with him on this show. So thank you guys for listening. I'm Dan Magnuson. I'm out. Bye, guys.